Welcome to another episode of Goober Pasta. Do you like Tony Blair? Well, this story has nothing to do with Tony Blair, but it's quite spooky. 16 years I've been a detective on the roughest streets of Chicago, and I was facing my toughest case yet. I was at a Macy's department store, and around me was a bunch of people. I looked at the officer, get these people out of here. On the floor of a fitting room was a bunch of dresses, and on top of that was some poo. Somebody or something came in here and pooed on these wonderful women's dresses. This was the 6th time this happened in 6 weeks. We were dealing with a serial pooper, and I was the detective on the case. The chief came in behind me. "What do you got, Mahoney?" "What do you think, Chief?" "I got a bunch of poop on some women's clothing, and I got no suspects. The cameras mysteriously turned off when the suspect came in. The witnesses, the staff that was here, they didn't see a thing." "Well, that's not good, Mahoney. We've got to get a suspect. The mayor's really riding my ass." "Tell me about it, Chief. I know a lot about politicians riding asses. I've watched them talk on TV for years." "Cut the jokes, Mahoney. This is serious. If we don't have a suspect by the end of the week, they're calling in the feds." "Oh no, not the feds. They're a bunch of dipshits in and of themselves. They're gonna come in here and get all science fiction, saying it was some ghosts or some goddamn aliens or something. It's probably just some crackhead who keeps going from store to store and pooping all over the place. Last week, it was at a Stan's Donuts. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of poop on the counter. Nobody knows how it got there. Middle of rush hour. Bunch of people in there drinking coffee, eating their donuts. Some poor chap threw up all over the place when he saw it. Smelled to high heaven, too. Well, Chief, looks like I better get back to the evidence lab. I took the train back to the precinct. I didn't drive because I got a bit of a drinking problem. I like to drink O'Doul's way too much. I know what you're thinking. How the hell do you get drunk on O'Doul's? Well, you drink about 100 of them at a time. That's how you do it. Because there's still a little bit of alcohol in it, you dumb fucks. I got back to the precinct and went into the crime lab. Boys had already brought the evidence in for processing. I went up to the lead evidence tech, Fingers. "Fingers, you old crusty fuck. What do you got for me?"
"Well, Mahoney, I got some evidence."
"No shit. You went and learned that at Yale?"
"Now listen to me. I've analyzed the chemical composition of the poop, and I can tell that it's come from Chinatown, so you should start going down there and questioning perps."
"Well, seems like you got this case all wrapped up. Why don't you leave all the science stuff to you, and all the other shit to me, like doing actual police work? Young kids these days think they can go get a fancy diploma from an Ivy League school and come in here and they're all policemen. They just need to stay in their lane. But he did give me a valuable clue, Chinatown. So I went down there. I got off the red line at Chinatown and went up to the first guy on the platform, grabbed him by the shirt collar. "Hey, shitface, you been pooping?"
"What?"
he said, kinda scared. "Don't give me that bull crap. You been pooping at department stores."
"Oh!"
he groaned. This guy was useless, and I could tell he was innocent, So I threw him back on the platform.
Ow!
He said. God damn, what a wiener. I went down to the street. I'm looking around here. Bunch of shops, bunch of stores, and a bunch of goddamn goobers all on the street. I was gonna have to figure this case out fast. Cause the mayor was gonna come down on the commish, then he was gonna come down on my ass, and I was gonna have to move back in with my ex-wife. She's a weird lady. She likes to scream at my ballsack. For some reason. She's kinda crazy and she doesn't take her meds when she's supposed to. But god damn, that drove me wild. But I wasn't about to move back in there. I was gonna have to crack this case. I looked at all the shops and finally I came across one that said not a criminal hideout. That's rather suspicious, I thought. So I busted in the front door. As I kicked the glass went shattering everywhere. I didn't bother opening the door, I just walked in through the busted hole. Hey, I said to all you people. Which one of you has been shitting places? A bunch of eyes started looking at me. I scanned over each and every individual in this store. God damn, this was the ugliest group of criminals I ever saw. So I said to him, God damn, this is the ugliest group of criminals I ever saw. I gazed over each and one of the hardened mugs, and finally I saw a guy who was sweating profusely. I looked at him and said, why are you sweating so much, son?
Me?
No, the other dipshit in here that's sweating. Behind him was another dipshit that was sweating profusely. So I repeated my question. Hey, why are you sweating so much, dipshit?
Because I'm very nervous that you're going to arrest me for shitting in various locations around town.
Oh yeah? Why would you think that?
Duh. Because I'm the guy who's doing all that stuff, and I've been getting away with it.
Well, looks like you're under arrest. I grabbed the perp and threw him on the counter and handcuffed him. I radioed in for a paddy wagon to come and pick him up. 5 minutes later, they came down and we took him to the precinct at 35th. Had him in the interrogation room. I was standing behind the two-way glass, eyeing him up. He confessed to me, but I was gonna have to get this all on tape. The commish came in.
Well, what do you got, Mahoney?
I've got 2 tickets to see Disney on Ice later. You wanna come?
Yeah, that's cool. I'll come with you. I'm gonna have to call my wife, though, and see if that's okay. She's got some yoga thing lined up she's been wanting me to go to for a while, and I need an excuse to get out of it. Maybe I'll tell her that we finally caught our perp and I gotta process all the paperwork and stay late. But yeah, we'll do Disney on Ice.
Awesome. Now listen, I got this perp in here and he confessed to being the downtown pooper.
We'll go in there and get a confession. Don't use any coercion tactics. We have to be sure this is a legitimate confession. I got the boys down in evidence trying to process it. We may need to get a sample.
Oh, I don't think that's gonna be too hard.
I pointed to the perp who was sitting on the other side. Sure enough, there was a massive one right in front of the guy. We sent in one of the evidence techs to clean it and get it back. I went in there to get the confession out of the guy.
Alright, dipshit. Confess.
Yeah, I confess. I'm the guy who did all the pooping.
Oh yeah? Good. Open and shut case. I lit up a cigarette and began to enjoy it. When all of a sudden, the evidence guy came in. Better have some good news for me, Wiener.
Yep. It's a no-go. Samples don't match. This isn't the guy.
God damn it. I said, I've got tickets to Disney on Ice tonight. Alright, loser. Get the hell out of here.
Yep, okay.
The guy left. I don't know what's worse. This dumbass confessing to a stupid crime, or my cheap-ass fake cop accent. It's kind of a cross between Dirty Harry and a guy who smokes too many menthol cigarettes. Alright. I went in and got the commish. Look, commish, let's go to Disney on Ice. Commish and I went downtown to the Goodman Theater. How they got an ice rink in there was beyond me, but I just wanted to see some fancy skating by all my favorite Disney princesses. The show was set to start, when all of a sudden we heard a scream from backstage. Commish and I pulled out our guns and we went running back there, because that's what cops do, pull out their guns. I went back there and sure enough, there was a fat one on one of the Disney princesses who was passed out. Looks like the guy struck again. And he went right on this Disney princess dressed as Belle. God damn it, Beauty and the Beast was my favorite. It was personal now. I could hear the door slam in the background. This was my chance, I thought. Stay with her, commish. I'm gonna catch this guy. I went running out the alley, and sure enough, there it was. I knew I had my guy. The mysterious figure went running down the alley, and I chased right behind him. I was catching up to him pretty fast. And I knew there was only going to be one way I was going to get this guy. So I opened fire and shot him 80 times. I had to reload my gun 8 times, because my gun only holds 10 rounds per clip. When I was surely sufficient that he was dead, meaning I ran out of ammunition, I went up to him. The commission caught up with me by then. Several other units had converged on the scene.
Damn it, Mahoney, you shot him. And you shoot him enough times, you hit 6 pedestrians in the process.
I would have made it 7 if that goober on the lift bike would have been a little slower. Anyway, it was time to figure out who our perp was. Went up to him, and he's wearing some kind of thing over his face. I think they call it a mask. Alright, let's figure out who this guy is. I pulled back the mask, and to my surprise, it was Angela Lansbury. We had got our person. Nobody could believe it was her. The next day, the mayor gave me a medal for my police work. Also, she gave the commish one too, because I think they had something going on. I gave a speech to the roaring crowd about fine police work, and when you're at a loss or you're at an end, always shoot, because that will solve all your problems. Thank you, bitches.